Hi there. Welcome to the Power of the P Card training brought to you by Larimer County. My name is Elissa Gentile, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. As a P Card holder, you've been identified as someone who has the power to make impactful purchasing decisions. Today, we'll explore how intentional purchasing can strengthen our community, promote inclusivity, and support local businesses. Let's dive in and discover how your choices can create meaningful change. And we have a short video to kick us off.
Why buy local? When you shop with local businesses, you're spending your money on more than just the item you're buying. You're adding a building block to your neighborhood. It starts with a single purchase, maybe a cup of coffee, groceries from a local co-op, or even a shiny new bicycle from one of the nearly 28 million small businesses nationwide. Your money doesn't stay in the till for long though. Local business owners use the money to create a lot of economic activity in your neighborhood, like buying from suppliers, many of whom are also local businesses, paying taxes to the city, which builds and maintains the infrastructure we all rely on, employing local workers, contributing to 65% of the net new jobs each year. Add this all together and you've got a recipe for a happier, healthier, more connected neighborhood. Now that's an investment worth making.
And at this time, I invite you to write down or reflect on your last few purchases. Who did you last buy coffee from? What about lunch? Where was your last meeting catered from? Was it a local business? And how do you know? So the core concepts of this training are simple. All businesses contribute positively to our community, but intentional purchasing drives greater impact. There's no wrong way to spend, but there are ways to make your dollars do more for the local community. Our goal is to empower you as purchasers to understand the impact of your spending behaviors. This isn't about adding requirements, it's about making intentional, informed decisions that align our shared values. Take food and beverage purchases, for example. Restaurants have some of the highest local retention rates, up to 79%. And by prioritizing vendors in these categories and more, we can maximize the positive impact of our dollars and create that meaningful change. And this brings us to the concept of progressive procurement, which is an economic development model that encourages organizations to prioritize purchasing from local vendors. So think shop local, but for the government. Community institutions like government municipalities have millions of dollars of purchasing power. Progressive procurement focuses on intentional spending that keeps money circulating within our local economy, maximizing its impact to benefit our community. And to define local businesses are independently owned and headquartered in Northern Colorado. Franchise businesses are locally operated but follow a larger corporation's model. And finally, national or global corporations serve customers beyond our community and typically have a larger market presence. These business definitions are reflective of ownership and founding location, business size, operational strategy, and inferred community impact. And it's important to understand these distinctions because research shows that up to 79% of every dollar spent at a local business stays in the community. And that compares to only 30% for dollars spent at a non-local business. And to illustrate this further, we look at how money circulates within the local economy. So dollars get recirculated 2 to 4 times more from a local transaction because local businesses tend to buy supplies and services from other local businesses. And this is an economic concept called the local multiplier effect. When we don't support local businesses, we risk creating economic leakage where money leaves the community instead of being reinvested. That said, we want to stress that all businesses, including national and franchises, contribute to the well-being of our local economy through employment, wages, taxes, and community donation. This scenario here highlights an example of a $40 lunch purchase. When buying from a non-local business, only $12 remains in the community. And in contrast, nearly $32 of that original $40 stays in the community when making a purchase at a local business. And this demonstrates the significant difference local spending can make. Here we highlight a critical aspect of small business diversity in Colorado. 45% of small businesses are owned by women and 21% by minorities. These businesses are key drivers of local economies, fostering growth, creating jobs, and promoting inclusivity. By prioritizing spending with local businesses, we can inherently support businesses owned by underrepresented populations. We also want to acknowledge that terms like women and minority are federally accepted but not fully inclusive, and we're committed to improving our communications along the way. So as you've seen in the research so far, buying local keeps money local. With every purchase, we have the ability to intentionally invest money back into our community to benefit those minority and women-owned businesses, decrease emissions in the supply chain, foster community engagement, and ultimately support the health and growth of the local economy, benefiting all community members. One common misconception is that buying local is always more expensive. And while there may be small local premiums, as illustrated here in the chart for sandwiches and coffee, the long-term benefits outweigh the upfront costs. The orange piece of each line item here is what gets retained and helps small businesses thrive. So we recommend discussing spending allowances with your supervisor to establish local buying practices, knowing that spending a little more locally is okay because it reduces economic leakage and keeps more money circulating within the community. Here's a snapshot of how we currently spend, and this data represents 5 county departments of over 500 employees. When we look at total P card purchases, only 9% are from local vendors. Restaurant and catering purchases have a slightly higher percentage of local, but there's still a lot of opportunity to spend more intentionally. Numerous studies have highlighted that even a 10% shift in spending to local businesses can positively impact the community. And we'd like to acknowledge that some spending categories are beyond influence due to specific requirements, funding, or requests, but we encourage you and your teams to explore areas that can be shifted. And to make local purchasing easier, we recommend establishing clear processes. Work with your leadership team to set spending guidelines, outline tipping standards, and make resources like vendor lists easily accessible. Planning ahead and collaborating with vendors can save both time and reduce stress. Consider ordering in bulk on a set schedule and take advantage of end of season sales or early purchasing for opportunities for added savings. When working with local vendors, remember to practice patience. Smaller businesses may have less formalized systems or require longer lead times. To make things smoother, gather all necessary information up front, such as your credit card details, tax exempt numbers, and order specifications. And finally, if you have a great experience, take a moment to leave a positive online review. Your feedback helps local businesses thrive and encourages others to support them as well. And here we have a decision tree designed to guide you through the process of determining if something can be sourced locally. So if the answer is yes, move to the next steps, which are, have I planned in advance and is there budget for this? To which you can refer to your team's established processes. If you're unsure, take time to research options or collaborate with your team to build local vendor knowledge. And if the answer is no, ask yourself why. Is it due to a specific request or availability? By following this decision tree, you'll be able to make intentional, informed purchasing decisions. And this slide highlights opportunities to shift spending from national chains to local businesses. By making simple changes in where we purchase, we can significantly support the local economy while still meeting our needs. These options highlight just a few of many local cuisines. And here are a few more categories to consider shifting. Again, these local businesses not only offer high quality products and services, but keep more of your dollars within the community, up to 79%, as discussed earlier. So next time you're placing an order, consider choosing local. And to further stress the importance of buying local, here are a few testimonials from businesses in Fort Collins. Local businesses truly feel the impact of your purchases, and by supporting them, we're building relationships and ensuring their continued success. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the key points from today's training. First, all businesses contribute to the health of our economy. And while some offer greater benefits, there's no wrong approach. Every purchase matters, and the goal here is to help you make intentional choices that maximize impact. Furthermore, your time is respected. We understand that you're juggling many responsibilities, and this training isn't about adding more requirements. Instead, it's about empowering you to pause, reflect, and consider local options when you can. Because your purchasing choices have power. They directly impact our community and economy, and buying local strengthens both by keeping more money circulating. And finally, local purchases create opportunities for diverse businesses. And we're not asking you to change everything overnight, but rather to focus on spending behaviors you can reasonably shift, especially in those high retention categories like food, beverages, and catering. With these takeaways in mind, I hope this training inspires you to update your processes, explore local vendor options, and recognize the positive ripple effect of your purchasing choices. And together, small shifts can make a big impact. So what commitments can you make today? Can you take the pledge to shift 10% of your P-card spending to local businesses, or maybe just in one category, such as food and beverage? Can you make your next purchase a local one, bookmark the county vendor list, or schedule discussions with your team to strategize local spending? Remember, your choices matter and your dollars have power, so let's make them count. And here are a few additional resources to support progressive procurement and the power of the P-card initiative. First, I want to highlight the project overview and the how to have a team discussion one-sheeters. These resources will guide you step by step in aligning your team and leadership around intentional local purchasing practices while equipping you with the data to support the message. Additionally, organizations like the New Growth Innovation Network, the Democracy Collaborative, and Civic Economics are leaders in this space. Their research and framework has served as an inspiration for much of this project, and they continue to offer valuable insights into building stronger, more inclusive local economies. I encourage you to check these resources out to deepen your understanding and see how similar approaches are driving real impact around the country. And finally, I invite you to take a moment to complete the survey linked here. Your feedback on this training is incredibly valuable and will help us improve for the future. So thank you again for participating today. I hope you found this training insightful and feel inspired to make a meaningful impact in your community through your P-card purchasing choices. And thank you again. Take care.